My name is Carlos Melitier Redbear. I am 41 years old. I am a Humpa Palakota. I come from the Satin Rock Sioux tribe. I'm technically on the state line border between North Dakota and South Dakota, but I just want to bear my testimony to how I turned to God in the end. The reason why I turned to Him was because I I had addiction. I was addicted to meth. Um, I actually loved it because I dealt it, did it, got in tune with it, used it because of all the bad that was going on in my life throughout my life. Instead of turning to alcohol and becoming an alcoholic, and I turned to the drug. So in the end, it took me through a lot of trials and tribulations. I lost a lot of people, lost a lot of family members because of it. I lost a lot of friends, but in the end, in the midst of it all, I found myself. But there was something that happened to me recently that really kind of fucked me up. It was losing my little brother to alcohol. He gave up. Why? Because he had no answer to his. He had no way, or he had no answer to his addiction. But I feel like I found the answer to it. I wish I found this a little earlier in life because he passed away like 4 or 5 months ago, and I wish what I know now. I wish I knew this then, because I probably could have saved him. But in the end, it was him passing away and my sister passing away from alcohol too. It set in motion this longing, this void that I couldn't feel. So I turned to meth. I was the best at it. I can handle it. I know how to deal with it. But at the same time, I poisoned and I turned a lot of people into monsters by even dealing with it. But as time progressed, well, I couldn't really find an answer to what I lost, and that was my little brother and my older sister to alcohol. So in the end, I dug deeper into being sober, staying sober. I turned to God more. I started going to church more. And yeah, I fell off a couple times. I did. I mean, I gotta admit it. Like, I was so addicted to the drug. But it wasn't just the drug that made me turn to God. It was the way I thought. It was what I believed. It was believing that there was no way to escape this matrix. But I got pulled out by God. God showed me there's a better place. There's just, if you believe in Him and you'll follow Him, then He'll show you the way, basically. And He showed me that way. He got me out of everything. I survived 7 car wrecks. I survived 2 stabbings. I should have been dead by now twice, 2 times over. But throughout my life, all this stuff that was happening to me was because of drugs and alcohol, though, okay? But this is my testimony, was that when I first sobered up and came off the drug, God, I got my Book of Mormon, and there was something He did right away that made me want to testify, to show you guys why I am the way I am now. It was the minute I opened up that Book of Mormon, there was the first page I looked at. There was a thing in there that I seen for myself, and I put my brother's obituary there. I marked it right away, and I said, "Is this what you're trying to tell me?" I asked him that, and I prayed to Him to took it over time. He started showing me the signs of what it was, and in the end, I found out that coming from poverty, coming from a res, growing up with a big family, being a middle child, I had 5 brothers and 4 sisters. Okay, so imagine that. And I was a middle child. I'm a Gemini, but I learned to alchemize the good and bad in my life by being a Gemini, having a feminine side and a masculine side. Okay, so I attuned that into my personality. So I'm gonna put it like this: I grew up evil in an evil place with evil people all my life. I turned my everyday living to a means of evil, but that was my way of dealing with poverty, drugging, drinking, abuse, all this shit. Okay, so in the end, I alchemized the evil into me by a way, a means of living. I accepted it. I became a prince. So good that I can walk in the dark and not be touched. That's how deep I went in to hell. But when I sobered up and it was time to sober up, and when my brother and sister passed away, and then my other brother and sister that passed away, something clicked, something changed, something in me woke up. So when I got the Book of Mormon, I said, is this what you're trying to show me, God? And he started showing me signs. You know what it was? It was being a chosen one. There's only 144,000 of us on this earth. And it's crazy that he chose me. Of all people in the world, why me? But then understand this. These are the signs that made me appreciate it, because I grew up, I had the best childhood ever. I had my mom and dad till I was 10 years old. I had a Super Nintendo in the 80s. I had a satellite in the 80s. I had home stereo. I had all these things in the 80s, being an 80s baby. At that, I was a badass basketball player. I probably could have got into music because I like I said, I listened to music to draw out my pain. I use music as a way of dealing with the bad. Now add in the drugging, the drinking, the relationships, having kids, like all these things set in motion for this one time. And God showed me that I am a chosen one, that he hid me this whole time, hid me amongst my family, hid me in this native culture, to finally reveal to me that I dealt with all this pain because I can handle it. It was tough, but I did it. And now I see the change. It's tough because nobody was there. My dad, people don't understand me. They never will, but I gotta show them that I'm different. And I always was. And whether you believe it or not, I believe it, that God did pull me out of hell. He put me on this matrix. He showed me that don't give up. Just keep going. Your brothers, your sister, everybody is in a better place. If you can get here, if you just write it up, find yourself, go to church, start accepting that I'm watching over you. And I did. And I'm gonna tell you something. Ever since I started turning to God and found this frequency, God's frequency, I found it. It took me a while, but it took me a season, which is 21 days for me. I can get onto this frequency easy, and I can tap into God. I can tap into the divine. I can do all these things. It's amazing to what I'm capable of. But I'm gonna tell you guys something that's really real. I had some things happen to me recently where I got jumped and I almost died. Almost bled out. Like those 2 times I got stabbed, I should have died. Well, I actually probably did die both times because I bled out both times. But this one time, getting jumped, I should have died that day in the ditch. But I didn't. Instead, that led me to my testimony. When I turned to God and decided to hand over my life to Him, He showed me that I was a chosen one. And it scared me because a chosen one is somebody that's meant to deal with all their life, to deal with bad, but have the goodest and purest heart from it. And that's all I do is give all my life. And I protected people all my life. I protected my family. I gave them everything they wanted, anything they wanted. A shirt off my back. If it was money they wanted, I gave them money. If it was alcohol they wanted, I gave them alcohol. If it was weed, if it was drugs, if it was whatever, my protection, it was everything I gave them. But I learned something was that you can lose yourself by giving everything and not receiving anything back. And I never did. So that's where I'm at. This is why this is my testimony. I'm at a threshold in my life where I found my higher self. Thanks to God. And I played a role of a chosen one on this earth. In the midst, I'm in a reservation. That's crazy. Because I'm in the most poverty place in this world. And yet, I still stand here as a confident human, handsome. I mean, I've been through some fucked up relationships, but hey, well, what don't kill you make you stronger. Believe me, like, I have my days where I'm still kind of pulling back because I can show them that I did it. I made it out. And if I can do it, you can do it. It's not the easiest, but I'll tell you this, I do it within 21 days. I can get onto God's frequency. It might take anybody else longer because they're probably just not as intelligent as me or smart as me or just been through what I've been through throughout my life. So I'm going to tell you this. For whoever this reaches and whoever understands this, that I'm here. I'll always be here. And I know that in my life that I'm going to be the one burying all my people, even all my family members. And I accept that because I'm a chosen one. I'm going to be protected. And believe me, God has protected me ever since I got jumped that night and almost died. He took that, and I took it for what it was. And I handed it over to Him. And that's my testimony. Believe it or not, but if you ever decide to throw dirt on my name or talk about me or even plot and plan against me, what? Something always happens, and I don't wish that on anybody, and I don't want that to ever happen to anybody. But trust me when I sit here and I say that I'm not somebody to fuck with. Now with that, that's my testimony. Hope you watch it to the end and let me know. But just know that I learned to alchemize the bad into good. Now I'm taking that good and turning it into my higher self, because all of the answers and everything you need in life are all in you. You just got to turn inward and do that work inside to release all this trauma and all this stuff you carry all your life. You release all that, you find your hidden self inside there, the brightest, the highest. Your highest self is in there dealing with all this, and you bury him. But once you start releasing all this trauma, he comes out and you start shining bright. And that's who I am right now. And thanks to God and my Heavenly Father, His Son, for giving His sacrifice to us and for me to walk this world right now. I type Jesus Christ into my life. I play Jesus Christ's role every day in my life. And that's my testimony to all of you and to God and to myself.